Okay, we did number 12. Do you want to do number 13, or we'll do number 13 now and then we'll have a break? Is that all right? Yeah. So number 13 is a proposed lease of building and/or land at Hickling Park. A little bit of background. I don't see anybody sitting there, but a little bit of background. In our long-term plan for next year, we did have $250,000, I think, allocated to build club rooms, changing rooms, etc. on Hickling Park. It's been suggested that a building we have no further use for be renovated and shifted onto Hickling Park for the Phoenix League, stop them getting changed on the side of the road, etc., as they do at the moment, and to give them a bit of a home as League seems to be growing in the district at the moment. It is recognised by this council, and because of prior reserve plans and sports management plans, that Hickling Park is not deemed the ideal place for League, but at the moment it's the best of what we've got, and I think we should help this code move forward. This expenditure of about $25,000 saves a $250,000 spend next year, but I think we should limit it to a 5-year period, so as things grow, particularly Owen Delaney Park and things like that, options we can look at later. So, Ms. Rawley, do you want to take questions or add to that at all?
I'd be happy to take questions.
Thank you. Has anyone got any questions on this, or fairly comfortable with it? Named after you. What do you got to say?
Well, because it's an old building, I hope we're going to do some landscaping around it to soften it down a little bit.
When you say landscaping, what have you got in mind?
Well, he's a gardener.
Well, I'll draw you a plan if you like.
And the thing I would actually like, if it's possible, what I would like to see done as I believe it, and I'm happy to leave it to staff to, without interference from governance, but look, if the league, Phoenix League Club is offering to do it up somewhat, although it's not in that bad a repair, that building, I really would like to see it painted, etc., before it leaves the depot. So when it is transported into its new place on Hickling Park, it's not a big working, be there for the next year or so. Do it there, take it down. That's my opinion. I think it's a good way just to do the business. That will get them up there, will make them really pull the finger out, because until they've got it to a standard that you as staff would tick off, we don't move it. So I hope that sort of captures Hickling.
Yeah, there's only another comment about the term of the lease, Your Worship.
I'm thinking 5 years. Do you want to put on that?
Well, yeah, I'm thinking 5 years.
Maximum.
Maximum.
That way, if it's going to be moved in the future, we have a finite date to work to. Because we do have plans way in the future for Owen Delaney Park, and the town grows, and your 2050 plan and all that sort of thing. So I don't think Hickling Park is the ideal place for League, but it's the best we've got at the moment.
Perhaps the lease should be tied into the community building time frame or something like that.
Their time to expire at the end of 2019, so that would give about 8 years.
That might be a bit too far. So, okay, 5 years.
Well, fellow councillors are happy with it be a 5-year term of tenure.
Years
on the resolution. Of the suggested resolution number 1 that just add on for an initial period of 5 years.
And under resolution part 2, that and Porticom unit be leased for an initial period of 5 years.
Well, I'm not so sure I would agree with that, Mr. Williams, because if I were to read that in 5 years' time, say for an initial period of 5 years, it sort of sends a signal to me that there was a period coming up after that.
It would just be for a term.
I think it should be for a total period of 5 years.
Just a term.
I don't know. Comments? So for a total period of 5 years to be added to that resolution. So if there's any further talk, happy to talk, or questions or comments. Otherwise, we need it. Councillor Craig?
I was just going to say a general comment. I would think of all the structures that the council owns around this district, that particular area there is the most untidy. It's just a collection of random huts, and I know I've been responsible for putting one there. It would be, that's the Harrier one, it would be, nice to know in the future that there was going to be some plan that's going to sort of tidy that area up. I mean, we've got a wonderful hockey venue, we've got the event centre right opposite AC Bars, and then we've got that sort of basically ugly looking area there.
Can I speak to that, Mayor?
Trees around it.
Yeah, can I speak to that?
I'm sorry, Councillor Downard.
That has been gone through, and Alison will vouch for that. We went through a sports management plan where we did have heaps of submissions come in from all those club members, because there was muted that we wanted to take them off and do all these different things, and that's why it was all tied into a lease to 2019, or renewed their leases until then. So there was an upstir in the community, and I suppose it's a decision to be made in future councils now, because now all those leases tie up to 2019, because they were all different 2 or 3 years ago. They were finishing.
At the end of the day, they're all clubs. They're all they have social responsibilities. We've even got a church up there. Hey, unless somebody comes along with a big cheque that can build some big multi-purpose building, we certainly don't want to unhouse people that have got clubs and doing public good and social good. So maybe we could encourage them to put some more paint on them, or as Councillor Hackling says, plant some more trees around them. But really we can't, go and...
Just to add to that, there was a notion way back about the turn of the century when the idea of the sports bill was mooted, and it did get a lot of support to incorporate all these in one building. I know we're talking of massive money, but it was something that was, any of you remember the sports bill concept that was done, Barry? Yeah. But we're still adding more to the untidiness by doing this.
But we're not adding more to our indebtedness.
That's right, yeah, fair enough.
Councillor Mitchell.
Just one minor concern. We're not going to end up sitting in here in 6 months' time with the hockey saying they'd like to extend their building, and which is obviously a building that is, a workable asset, whereas we could be extending it for both to satisfy the same need.
In our long-term plan, we cannot put any more money into the hockey, and the council staff have spoken to the hockey field, and they're apparently comfortable.
I think hockey initially would have been quite happy to have used the $250,000 that council had put aside to improve the facilities for the use of both clubs.
We discussed this in the LTP. The $250,000 to make their club rooms twice as big and share it with the league. But in a real world, we all know that sharing would be a bit like a marriage. It would be extremely volatile and probably wouldn't last 5 minutes.
This is, I guess, an expedient solution.
This is a cost-effective solution to a problem we have at the moment, where we have league growing in Taupo. We have a lot of kids and role models in there, a sport that needs supporting, and quite frankly, driving down there on a Saturday morning and afternoon, Sundays, and watching people undressed on the side of the road is not palatable, and this is a cost-effective solution on a short-term basis.
Can I add that when we spoke to hockey, when we were doing the sports ground management plan, they did indicate that they couldn't see any need to expand their facilities for another 15 to 20 years.
If my memory serves me right, I think this council stuck somewhere around $1 million into the hockey club, so I think they're at the bottom of the list for handouts. And that will take another 15 years. They've got a beautiful turf up there, and it's well utilised, and everybody should be proud of it, but to want more is unrealistic at the moment for that code. So if you want to put that 5 years in and somebody wants to move it and somebody wants to second it, I will take it to the vote.
We didn't decide which way around we're going to sort of options to do with doing the building up. Did you have to put that as a resolution? Was number 2 with the added that for a total of 5 years. Was it to do with the resolution of who looks after the building, as were sort of options presented to us?
We just sent that as a message to our staff, which is Mr. John Ridd and Ms. Rawley, that we don't want to see that building there in disarray. We've been told or led to believe that the Phoenix Club were going to paint it and tart it up and make it look nicer. All we've said is, would it be a good idea that you make them do that up in the council depot, then move it, rather than have working bees in the weekends and things. And this way I'm sure it will get done quicker. That was really a directive to staff rather than part of the resolution.
That's what I'm trying to say, because obviously if that doesn't happen, it doesn't kick into being a 5-year lease on the land. You know what I mean? It's chicken and the egg.
5-year lease from when it goes there. Is that right? You happy with that, Councillor Mitchell?
Yeah, well, it could start from the day they take over the building. That means they'll make them proactive to get it ready.
Start it anywhere you like.
The sooner that they know that their 5 years is ticking down.
So you want to start it from today?
From the day that they get the building.
Well, that's in 2 minutes' time if we move it.
That's not fair.
Are you happy with that?
That's just me personally.
Yep. Move it?
Yeah, well, make action happen, they've got to get it on the site.
We are moving into the site. You understand that, don't you? We're giving them the building, and we're paying the shifting costs to put it on site.
But you want them to do it up first. That could take a year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But if
See?
we set the lease from now, they should be wrapping there.
Would you like to nominate a commencement date, such as 1st of October or something like that?
Okay, so we add that for a total of 5 years from 1 October 2011. How's that? So did that get a mover, or did it already have a mover? It did. Councillor Johnson, seconded. Councillor Minsher, all those in favour? Aye. Carried. Okay, let's have a break now, and then we'll come back to the